Send middle link
right.
one.
No problem. As usual, I'm going to get a lot of things, so...
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I think... No, we're going to be on starting soon. You know what? I'm gonna let some of the audios, since it's my first time. No, we're going to be on starting soon. And just have to mute on my Twitch. And yeah, looks pretty good. And also going to do some introductory, because knowing of my viewers, in case they join. And well, for the new people that are going to be joining, I'll be explaining everything.
Definitely. That's normally what I do anyway, so we're good. There we go. Cool.
Alright, I think we can begin, everybody. So yes, hello everyone. I am your host. So this is actually the first time I'm going to be casting one of these tournaments as well. Let me just prepare this as well. So we're gonna have on top player Endozap. Alright. Oops. On the bottom we're going to have, let me see the name, Metal. Alright.
So metal opening with the scrap recycler, sending the Thisford, adding Sulfoneer, then using Sulfoneer effect to summon Peristortle from the effect, then using Smiger, which he discarded, to add the
I'm gonna try to catch this as fast as possible.
Impact, and then set to, yeah. So going with the Crystron Mirror at the start. The Gauda Zap also has a Sulfoneer, sending the Smiger.
Just going to do one thing, going to cut the audio, maybe some of the animations so we can go faster. Like that. And oops, sorry.
The Gauda summoning the Rion, likely going for the Synchro summon.
Alright.
He summons the Rose next, so he's definitely going to go for the either the Samurai's Destroyer or the Rose, but the Samurai Destroyer seems not make as much sense. So he goes for the Rose here and tries to nuke the field.
Interesting. Alright, alright. Well, that's indeed a good choice, because having 4 cards on the field, that's indeed the best thing to do. So no, indeed he uses the Crystal Impact to be able to special summon a monster outside of the field, but even though he's going to have at least 1 more monster in the graveyard, which is going to help him in the future because... Okay, so he does a Synchro.
Yes. So he chained the Citri so he can get some sort of float with the Amatrix, but also using the Impact to put this turn back into the graveyard so he can get a search in the future.
Exactly. And choosing to special summon Sylphnir, I think that's a pretty good choice.
Definitely a good choice since Sylphnir can also float.
Exactly, just wanted to check the graveyard, but yes, exactly. That was indeed the best. Otherwise, I think maybe another tuner will have been good, but he just had Citra as a tuner. Definitely really a good play here.
So Transcendent Crystals to send the Resortal to the graveyard. Now he can special one from the hand if he wants, but he's probably just going to pass the turn now.
Indeed.
But he's thinking about it though, so we'll see. Yeah, he is going to pass the turn with an impact set. He'll be able to summon Smiger if he wants it. All in all, Metal looking like he's in a good position right now.
Indeed.
Goes for the Cosmic, baiting out the impact. Question now being this: does Metal have a Quarion play right here?
Indeed.
He is going to banish for the Thistern, so it makes me want to believe that he does, but we will see for sure. You can get the Quarion out here, it'd be huge. He does go for the Smigers, so it does look like he's setting up for it.
For sure. The thing is, if he goes for Quarion Gandras, I do believe it's going to be game for him, because he's pretty much able to remove most of the creature monsters that be on the field or even in the graveyard from his opponent. And if so, he pretty much takes the game, almost. Now, it will also depend on the hand of his opponent, but the fact that he got the Cosmic Cyclone to even remove the Crystal Impact actually removes the protection for his opponent, so Endo's up. Or Nagao's up, so...
The Cosmic was a huge draw for sure, yeah. And the Quarion is going to come out here. So definitely not a good position for Nagao to zap, and I think that will probably be the game. Unless... Let me just check the... He did use Sylphnir, so he can't summon that again, but... Yeah.
Yes, I think he can only do 1 attack, unless he wants to use the turtle to special summon another one. Could be the lethal as well.
Yeah.
I believe he has a Press Turtle still in the graveyard. If he has another Crystron, he's good to go. No.
He doesn't, so he's just going to attack directly. Still a really good position for Metal, nonetheless.
Speak Spanish. I mean, I'd wish to speak Spanish and French as well, but for today, no, I'm probably only going to go in English, I think. Unless maybe more people demand me, I mean, why not? Even commentating in Spanish, but... Alright, so far, Endozap has only 2 cards in hand. I don't think he has that much in the graveyard as well. So only a Ryan and a Rosenix.
Yeah. Banish the best cards for sure, being the Impact, the Sylphnir, and the Peristortle. Have the option of banishing the Rose next to get a token to help him make some plays, but it's still a tough position.
Alright, so he normal summons a Smiger. Maybe he's thinking to destroy the Crystal Beast, which... No, he does not.
Probably just game the Smiger in the grave.
I think he does good on taking his time when it comes to Synchro, so I believe he's probably going to go for Side Tree, which is going to special summon a monster from the graveyard. And yes, pretty much ends the turn. That's all he can do. But that, also sorry for the hit on the mic, but is pretty much going to gain time like that. And another good thing for him is he's gonna have a free Amatrix, so he can use it to change the position of the opponent acquiring Gandrax. So yet again to gain more time.
Metal realizing this and just forcing out the Amatrix. Doesn't need to do anything too fancy right here. He still has the Quarion that Nagao has to address. But depending on what Nagao draws next turn, he might be able to break the Quarion.
Possibly, if he gets another side tree, he has the possibility to go for Black Rose Dragon if he wants to, which will help him to destroy the field.
Yeah. Looks tough though, because it seems like okay, he goes for Scrap Recycler. That will help him a bit. It'll give him a search anyway.
Alright, so he sends Thyzver into the graveyard and banishes it to search for a monster.
Probably another Sulfaneer if he has. Oh no, he's going to go
for side tree.
Interesting play there.
Now he uses Rosenix to add some more defense on his field, but the big issue is he has a Scrap Recycler, and he cannot do anything. And yes, that is going to be 1-0 so far for Phoenix. Just going to press OK so far, but yes, in my opinion, using Rosenix like that is pretty much a misplay, mainly when you have a Scrap Recycler on the field and in attack position. You know you're going to receive damage no matter what like that. So unfortunately a misplay, but pretty understandable as well, as he wanted to get some defense.
It was a tough position for sure though, because he needed to make a Quarion there, but he's already gotten rid of two of his Smigers, and one of his Sulfs have already been banished. Like, he probably could search another one, but all in all, it was a difficult line to make Quarion.
Indeed.
So, Metal's going to take the first game, and we'll see what Nagao decides to do next. He's not going to repeat the mirror. I highly doubt that. So, we'll be seeing his other deck next.
Exactly.
Probably also not the best idea to go against the mirror against the guy who created the Crystron guide. Or one of them.
Also, I think this should be okay. And alright, they're ready for the second game. Let's get right into it.
Azuya, not really. I think Samurai Destroyer is probably the better play. We saw Nagao's intention there was to try and clear his field, but as we saw in that game, Metal just had too many ways to summon float monsters, and it just ended up not being a good play for Nagao in the end.
Indeed. Like, the big issue would be that, or he can go for acquiring Gandrax to maybe try to get at least the same stat as his opponent, and maybe force some confrontation. Otherwise, well, the Black Rose Dragon to try to clean the board, or maybe bait with Vermilion. But the thing is, with the Crystron, you're not going to see most of the players playing Vermilion, except when it is a side deck.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair, there are times where Black Rose Dragon can have impact, but if your opponents set their graveyard up, ideally, it's not a good play.
This, and also if he has a counter, let's say Fiendish Chain or even a counter trap, that can really disrupt a Black Rose Dragon, pretty much killing your own game.
Yeah. So Metal just opens with the Citri, and Nagao goes with a Necro Valley, so that's going to be tough to deal with if Metal can't get the Cosmic to out it. We'll see what deck that Nagao is playing here with this Necro Valley.
Because it can be very much anything. And he goes already. Alright, he goes already with the Cosmic Cyclone, wanting to banish the Necro Valley.
he is going to go for the Amatrix here.
Exactly.
That makes sense why he didn't chain it right away, because I expected he was going to chain it if he didn't have the Cosmic, but because he did have the Cosmic, he had no reason to.
Indeed. Thing is, I did there was also like that idea of timing, and that is if his opponent, for example, said, I am going to end my turn. So because on the side of Metal, he sees that, okay, his opponent, so ends up, is about to end the main phase, which can lead to end phase, he will not have been able to do any synchro. So having the level 2 with another level 2 would not really lead him to anything. So he was like, no, first of all, I'm going to remove the Necro Valley, which is not going to affect my own graveyard. I'm going to be able to do my plays behind and at least have something like an Amatrix. So now indeed he uses the effect of his own Presiordo.
Yeah. Is gonna summon another Citri here.
Alright.
It looks like...
Okay, didn't expect to have a normal summon.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna push for lethal here, and then if he doesn't get... Oh, okay, he's gonna go for a second.
I do not think he wanted to go for a lethal. He knows that with like 3 monsters that would be probably worse. And indeed, depending on the deck that his opponent is playing, which I do believe can be indeed Dark Magician, as I've seen some of the comments. If that was the case, and he, for example, went for the Black Rose Dragon, I think that will be a pretty nasty turn for like Endozap. Because let's say you summon Black Rose Dragon, you decide to destroy the field, and he actually had a Navigation set and Dark Magicians. So what will have happened is he can like activate, at least the Navigation is going to go to the graveyard, but the Dark Magicians he summons are pretty much destroyed because he doesn't have protection. Black Rose Dragon is like, alright, you summon some people, no, I send them to the graveyard, nah, you get out, leave.
Yeah, so interesting there how Metal decided to go for the double Amatrix and didn't poke with the Thisfern to stay out of No Morals Can Resist there, but he did get a search with it, so we'll see if that search was compensation enough for giving the Gal
definitively make a comeback.
Yeah.
Metal pretty much had a big advantage. If he has done the Black Rose Dragon, I think that will have been his game, depending of the draw of Endozap.
Oh, and
World Legacy Clash.
Metal had the World Legacy Clash. That's gonna take the game.
He was not worried at all.
Doing this game, yes. Okay, now we see why Metal went all in there with the 2 Amatrix there. That makes a lot more sense with his hand.
Alright, now I'm really surprised. I did not expect to see Clash. I know this is indeed one of the cards you can play on Crystron. Alright. I don't know what else to say here, but for sure, or you play the enemy controller, or you play the Clash.
Yeah. In all honesty, I thought he was just going for a crush there, but he has the Clash to end it, and
exactly.
Phoenix off to a really strong lead already.
Alright, so now before what happened in this?
And Nagaudo Zap is definitely no slouch when it comes to Duel Links. He's been the runner-up in the 2019 or 2018 World Championship. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
yes,
definitely a good player, but Metal prevailing with the Dark Magician brick and some questionable plays in the Crystron mirror, but nonetheless, Metal comes out on top.
Exactly. No, I'm not going to lie, when it comes to experience, I haven't seen so much Crystron mirrors, or like the ones I've seen the most are pretty much these that doesn't play the SSA tech. So generally it comes to who has the better hand to create the better graveyard, and this will really remain important for like the rest of the duel, as it can give you a pretty big advantage.
Definitely. Yeah, both builds have their merits. The SSA build definitely better against things like E-Saber when they don't have access to Cosmic. The Whale can be very oppressive to deal with. But as for the other deck with the Transcendent Crystals, being able to send a lot of cards for a Crystal Beast that can help you with your Synchro plays or just any plays in general gives you a plus. Definitely a solid variation too. God's Chosen decides to bring out here for the Cristrons.
Alright, so now I think they're thinking which player to choose on the side of God's Chosen.
But yeah, in response to you, Razu, yeah, Clash definitely is better against certain matchups like Dark Magician for sure. Econ is just a solid card in general, can cheese some wins. But yeah, no, Clash definitely was the better card to have versus Dark Magician right there.
Indeed. For Crystron, yeah, pretty much you can... I mean, at some point, yeah, you have to agree that it's a pretty defensive deck, as you're like waiting until your opponent does an action, then think when to activate one of your effects to, for example, maybe special summon another Crystron to then do a Synchro, or even try to bait your opponent to use some effects.
Yeah. So Tio Kaiba coming in for God's Chosen here.
Exactly.
And is gonna go for Yami Yugi.
I will launch the game, then update the name of the players at the same time.
Yeah, sounds good. So probably might be Saber here, but we'll see. Probably not though. I don't know. Saber usually run more than 20 cards.
Alright, it's Tio Kaiba. I'm just gonna change the nickname.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, doesn't matter. I'm going to do it like that. Also, beat the two decks, and yeah, looks pretty good to go.
Or sorry, this is this is 20. So just a set from Tio Kaiba, so we won't get to see what he's playing. Just no, it is Saber and Bow. Interesting. And looks like it was a brick from metal, because you generally don't see a set first turn from Crystron. Usually you have some sort of opening play where you Transcendent Crystals and then have Citri on the field.
But like, what's pretty funny... Oh, okay, Cosmic Cyclone indeed is going to help him, as it just makes his opponent only have, well, maybe 0 invocation, or... I mean, most of the players, I think, will have at least 2 invocation in their deck, so only 1 remaining in his deck. But for right, goes for Galaga.
But not the...
Interesting. No, it's sure... Sorry. I was actually sure that the card he said is actually an Aleister, because that's the kind of card you will see. Otherwise, it could be maybe La Poila, but generally you want to put it face up, rather than face down. You just want to do some bait with La Poila.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely not the play Tio Kaiba was looking for, but the thing is, Galaga is a strong card against Crystron. The question is, can Metal out it now? He did lose 2 Alistairs, so if he's able to make the Amatrix, he might actually be able to attack over this Galaga now. He does go for the Ryan, so he is going to make the Insectron right here, most likely.
Gets countered by the Floodgate.
Yeah, he gets hit by the Floodgate, yep.
And
so,
I'm not really sure he will have went for Insectron. Maybe if he has it on his extra deck, but could maybe be... And this we can maybe see on some of the Christians. You can find... this is a possibility, but I think very few... Brionac. but generally it's indeed Insectron. You could also maybe see Psy Behemoth for those that doesn't really play Insectron. And last but not least, the Aura Dolphin.
He definitely had Insectron in his extra deck, but now that I think of it, he probably would have killed the turtle to summon Rosenix and make Sam Destroyer. I think that would have been a better play. But yeah, no, most Crystron players in Transcendent Crystals do play the Insectron so that they can survive some OTKs.
Exactly. Now for Crystron, you will want and you will prefer to play Insectron as it is a machine monster, so will always help you in case you, for example, only have Orion on the field, then have some monster banished. You can use its effect to special summon a monster. You're actually able to do a Synchro 6 star pretty free. So that is the sole purpose of Insectron.
So another set from Tio Kaiba, so very interesting game we've had so far.
No, I'm glad to see that kind of game for sure. No, I actually wanted to bring maybe a quick topic, but yes, keep commenting. I'll talk about it after, I think.
Sounds good. Battle is going to go for the Insectron here. As thought before, he doesn't go for the Sam Destroyer, which is interesting. But he does go for the Insectron, and probably going to wipe out the Caliga. Yeah, that would make the most sense, because now Metal will be more free to use his effect activations, and this is all looking good for Metal right now.
Not only is he able to activate more effects from his monsters, but also attack with multiple monsters. Because Caliga, what it does is pretty much have, let's say, a sort of field effect for both players. So both players really don't have that much effects that they can use as well as attacking.
Yeah.
And Rimoleo to put face down the Insectron.
Oh, but this isn't looking good though, because that last card in hand is definitely Invocation, since he set Alistair first turn, which means that he had 2 Invocation in hand. So now he's going to go for the Purg and try and cheese his way to a win here, and he probably is going to do it too. Draw for well, good draw for Tio Kaiba. Unfortunate situation for Metal, but we'll see if his back row is able to help him.
Indeed. The back row is going to be maybe the surprise. For Crystron, it's sort of tough. Let's say you don't really see some wall of disruptions. Maybe you can see some again on this kind of deck.
Yeah,
no, he does first all with Ryan.
Yep, so that's gonna be that game.
Going to be game, and it's going to be the first win for God's Chosen. T Kaiba takes the win here.
Yeah, that's the thing with Crystron's, is both players didn't open the greatest. I mean, Tio Kaiba got enough that he got enough that he needed to win that game, but yeah, whenever you see a set with Transcendent Crystals, going back to that, it's not what you want to see. And so if Metal opened a little bit better, he probably would have been able to win that game. But nonetheless, Nagao to Zap bricked, now Metal bricked. So we'll see if Metal can take the second game.
The thing is that for both decks, so Element Sabers with Invoked and even Crystrons, some people think that they do not break that much, but yes, they're pretty much able to do so and can be really nasty sometimes. Mainly for Crystron, if you're not able to at least have a Thicevern in the graveyard, I think it's almost game for you.
Yeah, not being able to see Thicevern can be rough. But just any way to like either send Thicevern or Sulf can be tough, because you have so many ways to get to them, but if you don't see any ways
Indeed.
Definitely a brick, because I mean you have the 3 Scrap Recyclers, you have 3 copies of both the Thicevern and the Sylphoneer, so you should be able to see one in your opening hand, but nonetheless, Metal didn't see it that time, and now Metal's going to be playing likely Dark Magician here. Doesn't go first though, so if he's Dark Magician, then that's a little unfortunate because you always want to win that coin flip with Dark Magician.
Pretty much. Dark Magician is really good when it comes to turn 1, and mainly if you have a good hand and are pretty much able to get the circle and also the navigation. If you get that kind of turn, you're pretty much winning the match.
Tio Kaiba going for a first turn, invoke Cocytus, probably recognizing that Metal is in fact playing Dark Magician right here. Cocytus is a good card to have versus the deck. Cards
I think if I see some Meishizu, I honestly think it's either Dark Magician or Shiranui. We could maybe still see some Shiranui playing No More Tolkien Resist.
Yeah, but it definitely won't be Shiranui here, as Shiranui can struggle versus Saber, whereas Dark Magician, they go first.
The biggest weakness is generally going to be because Shiranui monsters have only 0 defense, and if these monsters have, let's say, gotten the effect of the Floodgate, they're in defense, you just do a Purgatro, it's a free win. Generally turns like that, so I can understand why it could not be Shiranui.
Mel just gonna
escapes the turn, alright. Oh, that's a surprise.
But recognizing that, yeah, well, I mean, he recognized that Tio Kaiba did use the Palace this turn, so he won't be able to attack. So he's just gonna wait till next turn to see what he can do.
Exactly, there's indeed this factor.
Now Metal gonna make his play, but might be a little harder now that Metal has to go against a Mahelu as well. But we will see.
Alright, now at least he was able to play Magician's Rod and add a Dark Magical Circle. Time for the gamble with Dark Magical Circle.
Where whenever anyone plays a circle against me, they always get to add something. So Metal is going to be able to add the navigation with the circle. Be really good because you'll be able to stop a Purg.
Exactly. Now, if you have, let's say, a lot of cards that lists the name of Dark Magician, every time you play a circle, you know you're going to at least draw one that lists the name. But the fewer cards you have that list the name of Dark Magician, the lesser chances you can have. So, as usual, it really depends on the deck list, but most of the players will try to get most of the cards that at least says Dark Magician to be pretty much able to set a field or just get the cards they want.
So Tio Kaiba gonna search for another card, probably the Malo right here. Go for a Purg.
No, La Poila.
Oh, no,
even better, which is going to maybe force Metal, if he wants to use one of his cards.
Yeah. If he lets it go, he probably has a way to bait out La Poila effect. He is going to let it go, so Metal's probably not too worried.
This is honestly looking tough.
Yeah, he has a current. This might be tough for Metal.
Indeed.
We'll see.
No,
I mean, he does have 20 cards, so there is less room for tech space. So I don't think Tio Kaiba is running it, but there still is the possibility of a current cheese here for the win.
Indeed.
Okay, so
Clash.
Legacy Clash, gonna hit that. Probably just gonna let it go. Yeah. No reason to respond to that.
Very nice. He had the Dark Magician. I mean, the Magician of Dark Illusion. Now, this is my bad to actually make the misspell here, but that is going to really help him as he is pretty much able to banish whatever card he wants.
Yeah. It's probably just gonna banish.
Goes for La Poila. I actually thought he was going to go for the Palace, but I think he's thinking that he maybe has some Palace in the deck or even in the hand, so why bother going for the Palace?
It was more so just to probably get rid of the Lapoila so he can freely use his navigation when he wants.
Exactly. There's this part mainly, which will really help him. And the thing is, as I said, while playing against Element Sabers, you tend to see them with 3 copies of the Palace. And maybe he has it in the hand, so if, for example, he went to banish the Palace, that would be bad for him.
He is going to send 1 Invoke to attack over the illusion, but now probably going to see an end phase navigation.
No, end phase navigation will actually be a misplay, because if you use navigation in the end phase, indeed you special summon some Dark Magicians, but the effect will not be activated if it comes from the circle. Herald of the Abyss.
Herald of the Abyss.
Oh,
okay, yeah, this is going to be good, probably.
This is probably going to nuke Teokaiba.
Yeah. Herald of the Abyss.
This is a huge hit. This is a huge hit. Getting the top deck of that card. No, he pretty much has the game, because he just needs to... Yep. He just needs to banish the Molahu by default.
There's the navigation. Yep, that is going to be... That's going to be game.
Alright.
Most likely.
Indeed, most likely.
There's still a possibility for a Sphere Karibo, but again, because of 20 cards, tech space is limited, and I don't think
we
that's...
We could actually see on some Element Sabers. No, most of them doesn't really have Sphere Karibo, but possibly we can see one. If that is the case, I'm going to be pretty surprised.
Yeah. Even so, like, if he does survive this turn, he won't be able to retaliate, because he did add the Lapoila last turn. So he will not be able to conduct his battle phase.
No hand trap at all. No hand trap, and Metal takes the win here. 3-1 for Phoenix so far. Metal still resisting pretty much.
Yeah.
Looking good, this man.
Well, second deck doing what he wanted it to do for him. We'll see what Teokaiba brought as his second deck now. Able right away, so
alright, scores
he's ready to go.
And they're ready to go yet again, so we're gonna go already in the game. Both players have not changed the position, and before I forget anything, so it's gonna be top left. Alright.
So Shizu and a Shizu probably gonna see Shiranui with Cosmics right here.
Indeed, probably.
Teokaiba, yeah. Which is interesting because it's not necessarily the best counter, but I mean it can work.
I think rather than playing with a counter, I think they want to focus on having something that really disrupts its opponent anyways.
It might be DM Mirror too, that is also a possibility.
Indeed,
but
possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so far, free navigation.
Yeah, that's gonna be game already if Teokaiba doesn't have a sphere. Rip.
For Dark Magician, there's pretty much no Karibo sphere, and they will instead maybe play some staple cards, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The real issue is 3 monsters on the field. No, I think he should indeed keep 1 in defense.
Yeah. So this is a
navigation.
Sphere, yeah.
So far, I want to say it's a top deck. All right.
That's gonna be game,
he took the gamble here. That was that was an ultra scoop here. Like, I know there was one game they said it went quick, but this is, I think, the fastest game we've seen so far for this week. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah. If any time to go first, that was the time for that Dark Magician Mirror.
Yeah. Though I'm not gonna lie, I will have not went for the 3 monsters attacking, because imagine you have a certain Dark Magician having it droning, and then visit the drone. That would be nuts indeed. Though I do agree, we do not really see that much as a card on Dark Magician, so I can understand why he goes with 3 monsters. But he could have like let at least the Magician of Dark Illusion in defense.
Well, he didn't have to there because he had the navigation in the graveyard to negate whatever his last back row was. So he had no fear there. The only thing that could have really stopped him was like a random like Kite Roid. I mean, which he won't see in Dark Magician.
I mean, if we ever see Dark Magician... Oh, okay, Dark Magician is not anymore tier 2. We actually remove it from the tier list. This is actually an announcement from Duel Links meta. And then people are like, oh my god, it's not meta. But wait, there's Kite Roid I can use! And then they put this as a new idea. I will be... That will be a shame in my opinion. Anyways, Frost is going to be playing. You know what? We're gonna yet again launch. And... let me do some updates when it comes to...
So Cyber Dragon is going to come in here.
Top player is going to be Frost.
So we'll see if Cyber Dragon can win this. They definitely have... Oh, a Grit. What?
Alright.
So Hero, not Cyber, but Hero. Yeah.
It can be actually Hero or Lunalight, though nobody will be playing Lunalight because...
Yeah, no, it's likely
it's too
Hero.
Ugly.
Lunalight's a ladder deck, we don't need to see that in Team Wars yet.
Exactly. Yeah, not only do we not want to see it in Team Wars, but that will be so boring. Cyber Dragon are at least more interesting in that factor, because there's actually quite some builds you can actually do with it, and one of the latest builds we've seen is actually with Fusion Gate.
Yeah, no, I've seen that for sure. Fusion Gate in combination with whatever that quick play is that pays half.
The one that pays half, I think it's maybe Help for Cybernetic Fusion or something like that. I need to remember its name, but indeed there's one where you actually pay half of your life points, and it's actually letting you do some fusions, rather than like, let's say if you use the quick spell fusion. If you use this card, you generally send your Cyber Dragons that you control or are banished back to the deck, then you put a fusion monster. And if you use the one where you pay half life points, hopefully we'll see it. But if you use this card, instead you're going to be banishing the monsters you have on the field. And it's pretty much going to be really helpful for the future, as you may have, let's say, a second copy of the spell fusion. Then you can use it on the next turn. Now, for sure, Dark Magician being first yet again has an advantage. But it also depends on the hand. And for me, it looks like he has a top deck.
Navigation with the circle again, so very nice. Assuming that he does have a, assuming he does have a Dark Magician in the hand.
Arix is saying, y'all know this is Grid Guardian.
It's not Grid Dragonity, it's definitely Hero.
Yeah, no, of course it's definitively Hero, but that would be actually incredible if we would see some Guardian. Like, that would be such a meme indeed. I actually wonder if there was any Team Wars
and nothing else.
Right, so H-Grenade really helped him out for sure. So first of all goes with Stratos to add a Faris, special summons Faris, and makes sure to send the Malicious. This card you never want it in the hand, you want to send it as soon as possible in the graveyard. The only good thing of those Malicious is to banish, special summon another one from the deck, which is a free dark monster you can have on the field in case you want to do the OTK, to then use, let's say, can be a Polymerization if you want to do the Trinity, or can also be the quick spell to special summon Anki. So everything normal, alright?
Likely going to be game right here, unless for some odd reason...
we see a Kuribosphere.
Yeah. Probably going to go for an Adoration right here to put Rod to 0. No reason to go for Trinity right here.
Exactly.
Although he could do it for the lulls, I mean, why not? If his last card's
generally, you're never going to see that kind of play. So they're preferring to do Adoration first of all, to at least have 2 monsters on the field. Make sure to, if they want, reduce the attack of the Magician Rod, and make sure to then be able to use a quick spell and have more monsters on the field.
Yeah,
so
no, it was definitely the preferred play, but
Trinity yet again special summons Malicious. Alright. Malicious
always
defense
Trinity
instead
for
of
the
attack. So he's not taking that much confidence if he puts it in now.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it.
Going to be game. Frost takes the game. Easy peasy. No Hatred will have in his loss indeed though. Otherwise, I do want to maybe point out that he could have used the navigation sooner, because at least it will have some monsters on the field. I think that will have helped him out.
It is possible that he didn't use navigation because he might have not been able to use it, because I think he would have used it otherwise. But regardless, Frost is gonna take metal off the table finally, and
that will have 4 wins though for metal, helping a lot of the team. Now I'm sure they built some confidence. Alright, so far 4-2 for Phoenix. So now Phoenix team pretty much discussing about who is going to be playing against Cyber Dragon. It's going to be Yosei Luck. Alright.
Likely gonna see Crystron from Yosei Luck here.
Alright.
But we'll see, because Saber could also come in here. But Saber also risks going against Hatred and just losing. But yes, we are going to see Crystrons from Yosei Luck.
Alright, no, I think you know better your team, so I can't say much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Y'all have to know, this is my first time pretty much seeing most of the players in the Team Wars. So all I get is surprise. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I know Yosei Luck plays both Crystrons and Saber, so he could have brought in either, but after seeing Jesse, it was obviously going to be Crystron.
Right.
And starting with the first turn, so they can get that search. But he doesn't have to, because he can still make the Amatrix with those 2 cards, so that's what he has to do here.
Maybe he was not able to use Transcendent Crystals. I thought I would maybe see that kind of play, but not at all. He went for normal summoning Thisbird, used the effect, and special summon a side tree. So I don't know what else to
play for sure, but yeah, I'm guessing the reason he did that was because he had no other monster to summon there to really make use of that.
The thing is, you have this skill, so when you have Thisbird, you should be like super mega happy, because the thing is, you use the skill, pretty much send the Thisbird in the graveyard, so you're gonna have at least a Crystal Beast on the field. With Thisbird, you can pretty much get another monster, and maybe, let's say, if you have I don't know if you have, like, let's say Crystron Impact, for example, or maybe another monster of Crystron. Self-Fifnir. So you use the effect of Self-Fifnir, discard your Crystron card, special summon Self-Fifnir, Self-Fifnir destroys itself, special summons another monster. And then with that monster you special summon, you use the effect to destroy your Crystal Beast, have at least 2 monsters in graveyard, because you're going to have Self-Fifnir.
In response to the increase here, using the effect. Nice. That's huge. Yeah.
That is a good choice here. Opponent forced to use the effect of Malicious to special summon another one.
Probably gonna try and attack with the Mali here to bait out the Amatrix and then go into... Oh, nope, he's gonna go for Vion first.
Ooh, Lancel.
And, yeah. And Yosei Luck changed the Lancea in response to make sure that, Frost doesn't get a poly for this turn.
Exactly. And he wanted to bait out the opponent.
Is gonna make the Amatrix here. Does Frost have the mass change in his hand? He is going to go for Amatrix in defense, so maybe anticipating that he does have mass change.
Exactly.
And he does have it, so he's going to send the Mali here, most likely. Yep.
Ooh, that was a very good lance here.
Does he
the
have
opponent
a second?
has a second copy of
mass
change.
Mass change. Oh no!
that hurts. There's still one good. There's still one good thing though. 2 mask change wasted. So that means he attacks and Amatrix effect activates anyway, so he's able to special summon another monster, and he's pretty much able to do a side tree, or I mean base tree. Because
able to survive the turn. That is the one good thing that came out of this. But yeah, very unfortunate situation.
I feel like the side tree in the graveyard, like how? Like I forgot how he summoned Amatrix. What is happening with me? Yeah. It's pretty funny. Because indeed, he like... Alright. I see why. The Lancer really helped him out. No, I don't know why he didn't win for side tree unless he's like... It's an effect you can only activate it once per turn. But I think that effect will have been erased. So if you, for example, special summon a side tree, you will be able to do yet again another Amatrix. So I don't know why he went for the 3-star. For me, that's more like he got the dogs of not being able to do the summon he wants. It's not looking bad though. He can pretty much go for, yeah, first of all, Smiger to pretty much get a trap. And then he's going to be able to do another Amatrix if he wants to destroy the Anki, which I think is nice. I think that would be the best to destroy Anki rather than like destroy Bio. Unless he wants to like lock the opponent and not let him have polymerization. That's one of the two.
Yeah, possibly going into... There's a couple options, but he might be going into... to either Aquarion line or maybe even a Rose to nuke the field, but I highly doubt the Rose play will be the right one here, because he does have a Celestial draw 2 next turn.
Indeed.
So... he is just going to sit up with the Citri. Oh, nope, he's going to Synchro into the... Okay, that makes sense. Makes it... He summons into Amatrix to attack over the Anki as a float.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that was the play I actually thought of doing. Like, I don't find that there's any need to be scared of, oh, okay, I'm pretty much able to get polymerization, I'm going to do the Adoration, oh, I'm going to reduce your attack. There's no need to worry because Amatrix destroys special summons a monster. You can just put a side tree, free Synchro yet again. And he can even go for like Samurai Destroyer. So far 3 cards, we know he has a polymerization.
Yeah.
So 2 cards yet to be revealed.
Oh, 1, because we know that the last one's Mass Change, so he has a Mass Change Poly and some random card.
Indeed. He has a Mass Change indeed, because he used Anki to destroy the Amatrix, so he was able to join. Indeed, indeed. Chris from losing to heroes again, nice.
Yeah, nice. we had that curse in the first week where we played Crystron against heroes and kept losing to it.
Yeah. I mean, Crystron can still win against heroes. It pretty much depends on the hand, and I cannot say much. For me, Crystron pretty much so far had a really good hand. That Lancer was a really good counter. But for me, as I say, the only misplay was to not special summon side tree, because its effect when it says once per turn is when he was on the field, but then he left, the effect was used. Then if you re-special summon yet again another side tree, I think that will have helped you win even more.
You can always summon the side tree off of the...
So he goes for Adoration.
So that's... Yeah.
Set the card here. Alright.
Yeah, so he isn't going to be able to Mass Change this turn, but he is going to draw 2.
Even better, wise choice. Alright. Rather than like going for direct attacks, he prefer. Oh, I think he's going to use Stratos. I don't think to destroy this spell and trap. No, he goes for it. He wants to bait his opponent as much as possible.
Yeah.
Not really thinking it's going to help him that much, because the thing is Crystron destroyed, but you have Smiger with 1800 attack, so Adoration has to know if he should attack the Amatrix. or not.
Mm.
He's not worried at all. So he's gonna be able to destroy 2 monsters.
Go for it, yeah.
No, he wanted to go for the damage.
Which is good damage, because now he can't Cosmic, but I highly doubt Metal would have Cosmic the Mass Change set anyway, so...
Indeed.
He is going to summon a Thrice Fern here. Thrice Fern now.
Decides to not attack.
But it looks like he is going to go into Aquarion line if he's able to now, though.
It's pretty much going to be tough for sure. And another thing...
He's got Aquarion.
Oh, wait, yes indeed. The card that is set is a Mass Change, there's no doubt for that. No, I was actually thinking that maybe he had the Mass Change in hand, but no, he actually put it face down before, then used Celeste to draw 2 cards, so Mass Change definitively face down. So indeed, he goes for the...
Definitely is going for the Aquarion play, yeah. So this is good for Mel, because he will be able to dodge the Mass Changes. Aquarion, Banish. Oh no, wait, it does target. So he could chain the Mass Change in response, but
exactly,
if he still does,
at least he's able to banish some cards. That's the thing. The only issue is his opponent.
Yeah, he doesn't even use it. There is no reason to. He's gonna try and go for the Anki Direct next turn, maybe.
He will have got the defense. He could have protected himself with the defense, even if he uses it. It will just like be, okay, especially summon an Anki, useless one, but it's a defense.
He's going for Anki Direct for game. That's what he's doing.
Indeed.
Does he have the Dark, though? That's the question.
That's the question, indeed.
He does have it. Oh, well, he has a Stratos. Ooh.
No, I don't think Stratos can do direct attack, but he's going to be cheeky, so I think he's going to go for Faris to at least be able to special summon it, then he can do the Anki. Otherwise, I'm mistaken, because I do believe Faris you maybe need another here in hand.
Yeah, no, like, and even so, if he did summon the Ferris, he wouldn't have Mass Change anymore, so... Because he'd have to discard the card in his hand. So isn't it just, yeah, close into here?
Someone says if he has more Dark or no. I do believe he
still
has some Dark.
That makes sense. Because Blast can reduce it in half, but it's not going to be enough here.
Not even enough. He has the Crystal Impact. Yeah. He had at least one in the graveyard.
Yeah, he wouldn't even be able to do it because Ferris has to discard a hero.
Exactly. So indeed, either Anki or Blast will have been a very terrifying thing. Anki doing a direct attack, and then Blast targeting a card to send it back to the hand. While for acquiring Gandrax, the case is it is sent back to the extra deck.
So Crystron is going to win this game, though.
Indeed.
Not much more that Frost can do here. For the just to add insult injury, we do have the Econ take per game. Not that it was needed.
Right. That's going to be an easy win for Yosei Luck, and it's going to be 5-2 for Phoenix. So as usual, I'm going to be updating the scores. So that this time it's going to be that.
Definitely didn't need to reveal that he had Econ as one of his semi-limit cards, but doing it for BM, always the correct play.
Indeed, it can be for flex, but it can also be because I don't think he had some Crystron Impact in the graveyard, and he was like, I'm just not going to let my opponent use its effect. So like he could like even tribute the one of the 2 monsters he had targeted, and he could even wait for it if he wants. Also,
I mean, it wasn't really.
I'm just verifying if I'm doing things correctly, so I do apologize. But I do think
it wasn't really a question of whether he needed it or not, but he did it anyway. So.
Indeed. All right, it's going to be the next game. 7th game out of this match. Also, everybody, thank you very much for coming in the stream. I've seen we got a lot of times 100 viewers. I still cannot believe it. Still hoping that you enjoy the match and as well the commentary. Trying to do my best here. And
another mirror here. The first SSA Crystron that we've seen today. God's Chosen.
First time going to watch such kind of spicy mirror match for sure, as both decks with different kind of techs can actually be really wild most of the time.
Yep, starting with the ideal play, sending a Sulfaneer to the graveyards. The Fistburn. Yeah, so very good setup for Frost right here.
Alright. Now for sure one of the, let's say, best, well, I wanted to say best plays, but one of the plays you generally see with Crystron is, well, indeed, Scrap's Recycler, but the card they want to send is always Sulfafnir. Now obviously, because he had the Thizern in hand, that was the best thing to do. But in case you don't have a Sulfafnir in hand, try to send a Thizern, then get yourself a Sulfafnir, then you're good to go. Like, no Sulfafnir in the opening, you actually get more difficulties to pretty much have a good field set, or even catch up later to your opponent.
Vice Horizon, the reason why Crystron's with Mako is because there's another variation that uses Sea Stealth attack with a Citadel Whale. And this variation can be oppressive against certain decks that don't have Cosmic Cyclone, since Citadel Whale is really tough to destroy otherwise.
Very nice Transcendent Crystal.
And
lucky self Discord.
And in turn, Sea Stealth attack makes it so that whatever monster Citadel Whale attacks, it just destroys it.
No, just wanted to say that's quite surprising to see someone discard a side tree like that. That's not often I see this kind of play. I think he went for it because of the hand he had, so I guess he had no choice here.
Yeah, we'll see what Yosei does here. He probably, yeah, just gonna pass on this most likely. He does have an Amatrix play, so no reason to rush here. For Frost now, he is if he has the Undying here, then he could be able to send the Citadel Whale. But we'll see what he has here. Is going to use Sulfaneer to summon another Crystron.
I think he's going to go for Sulfaneer to destroy Resident Evil. He destroys himself.
Yeah. Right. Because he can go into Ryan here and make Quarion.
Indeed. That's another thing.
It looks like he does go for that play.
He wants to go for Quarion, alright.
See what Yosei does.
Is there a response though?
Well, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, if there isn't a response, what Yosei will likely do is chain Citri. Oh no, he's not gonna make Quarion. He's just gonna make. Interesting.
Samurai Destroyer.
Yeah, interesting play there. He could have gone for Quarion, decides to opt out of it and go for the Samurai Destroyer. Maybe we'll see a follow-up Citadel Whale in response, but...
That's pretty strange to see Samurai Destroyer for sure.
Interesting play from Frost there.
I mean, the thing is that we're going to see an Amatrix putting it in defense.
Yeah.
That was, I'm not going to lie, that was a wake bait, because at some point you know that Yosei will have done will have used the effect of Side Tree to be able to special summon an Amatrix or any other Synchro. So I don't know why Frost has not went for Synchro before the end of his opponent's turn. Like, instead going for, like, he had the entire field to go for Quarian Gandrax, goes instead for Samurai Destroyer. That is a weird choice. Yeah. And I cannot say much for sure.
Yeah, the only thing with Quarion...
If you have an Amatrix, the thing is you put everything in defense, and the real weakness of Samurai Destroyer is when being attacked or attacking, all effects are negated, so when he is destroyed, he's not going to special summon any machine. So in my opinion, that is pretty wasted, and I think Frost is going to get into difficulties later on.
My only hypothesis of why he potentially didn't use it there was because it would have been good, but we already knew that that Yosei added impact, and he had a way to make Amatrix anyway, so it wouldn't have been the best Quarion, but it still would have helped.
Heredity, like the strength of Samurai Destroyer, you know, it actually relies on negating effects when trying to attack. But the issue is you're actually having a field which is pretty much having a lot of possibilities and a lot of momentum when it comes to using effect. So that is still strange that you want to Samurai Destroyer when you know side tree is like, I don't care, I'll just special summon my thing and boom. Like literally that was still a strange play.
Yeah. But
no,
the pro
goes for Thicevern, special summons Ryan.
The only pro of this line by going for Samurai Destroyer is he does have a very active Citri on the field, so he will be able to synchro into anything he wants, really, but at the same time, Yosei doesn't really care too much. And Frost is going to go into the Amatrix here to stop the Yosei's Amatrix from attacking the Samurai Destroyer.
Exactly.
Definitely not too much going on from both players just feeling each other out. Impact does come from
Frost.
From Frost, so that's going to be a really good impact, putting both monsters at 0.
Except that Ryan can still not care, as
Ryan
can summon an Insector, which is going to reduce damages to 0, plus free synchro as well. Also send some of the monsters back to the deck somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
One positive thing, actually, come to think, as he's able to do the synchro, is his summoning. Well, as you've seen, he used Ryan with the Crystal Beast, so the Ruby Carbuncle. So he's gonna be able to use the effect of his skill to be able to maybe play yet again on having a Ruby on the field. Maybe be able to do some synchron or summon some other crystals.
So Samurai Destroyer just getting rid of the Amatrix, knowing that Amatrix can't use the effect after the attack.
Looking really tough so far.
Looking like a reasonably strong field from Frost right here. We'll see what Yosei has in response. Whisper is going to be banished. Tiger.
Probably going to use Transcendental Crystals right now to maybe discard a Smyger, or otherwise indeed Self-Ifnir.
Yeah, Self-Ifnir sends Smyger, and that way he can get another search if he wants, but he can also keep it in the graveyard for a possible Citri, which Yosei probably will go for right here. Unless he thinks there's a way to make Quarion.
Indeed.
Quarion won't be amazing because Frost does have the impact which can negate. So it looks like Yosei is just going to set up a Citri for this turn instead, actually. Okay, yeah, because he's going to go into his own Samurai Destroyer, I think.
I read that as a French toast and now I'm hungry.
Yeah, definitely a Samurai Destroyer. Probably going to attack the Amatrix if he can. Smyger going to add another impact.
Now, if one of the two does a black rose, it sounds like they're going to win. So he goes, uses Forbidden Lance.
Baits out the World Legacy Clash. Probably going to target the Samurai Destroyer. Yeah, it hurts them. But Lance in response. So double Lance from Yosei.
Alright. There's also another response. There's probably going to be no attack with this field. Otherwise, he's maybe going to attack the Diceburn. But yeah, I'm sure he's going to end the turn by the looks of it.
Yeah. No reason to attack the Diceburn, so Yosei just going to pass the turn. And Samurai Destroyer from Frost does come back. Deal spot for Yosei. But it's not all lost just yet. Take out the Insectron. And I believe that is... Yep, that's going to be it for Frost.
The biggest difficulty for Yosei is to get rid of most of his monsters. Try to maybe get rid of the Amatrix. Another Forbidden Lance, yet again.
So the third Forbidden Lance comes... Yep.
Goes for the attack. Passes.
So it does clear the Samurai Destroyer, which is good for Yosei. However, it does open a space for a possible Undyne into Citadel Whale, which could be problematic, but we will see.
Plus, the field of Yosei is pretty much weak by only having a Samurai Destroyer and only one face down card. Though I believe he has a... He should have an impact, otherwise he have to... Yeah. No. 0 times.
Here is going to be summoned here, and possibly a Aquarion line here. That would not be... Yeah, looks like... Yep, that's
indeed.
what...
So now he's going to use the effect of Diceburn to then destroy Amatrix and put Orion. No.
Oh. Doesn't go into
Understandable. Understandable. Indeed,
Goes
there's
into
actually
White
no rush.
Order.
There's like no rush for like Aquarian Gandrax. And I think Frost is thinking that there's a Crystron impact on the side of Yosei. And White Aura Dolphin, by the way. Alright.
You don't see the White Aura Dolphin too often, but
Actually, you can see it on some of the Crystron SSA decks.
Yeah.
Because too much water, and the other version, so the one with Jess, you pretty much are more based on like special summoning, and having everybody almost machine type. Or just mainly, I want to do a special summon, and my effect requires you only special summon machine type monsters from the extra deck.
White Dolphin is a good card for sure. The reason it's been seen less rather is because of obviously no mortals getting rid of all your water monsters.
Simply because it's fish type. The monster is fish instead of machine, so you don't really have ways of special summoning it. It is still a good card to use in like any deck, as it just requires a tuner and a non-tuner. So if you want to reduce the attack of an opponent, it's pretty good. But I think because of the existence of Cossidus in general, maybe that's why it has been played less. But for me, it's mainly because it is fish and not machine.
It's that, but also because of no mortal making the card weaker.
Indeed, no mortal can resist. That converts all the monsters into school servants.
But very good Cosmic from Yosei here, getting rid of a potential future SSA. But the thing is, does Yosei have something to in response to this field? He does summon the Ryan in defense, and he's going to pass his turn. So he does have a He does have an Amatrix play next turn, so that will be good for him, but still not looking good for Yosei.
And now he summons the Genix
and there's the end down, yeah.
Sorry, not dying.
Then a turn too late, but I mean, he does send the whale.
I think what's even more late is he's not really going to trust on SSA because Umi is banished.
Yeah. He still does summon the whale, even though, I don't
want to say NS stupidity, but from my memory, the SSA, so C stealth attack, brings back Umi if it is in the graveyard, but not if it is banished.
Correct.
And if he has more Umi in the deck, I'm going to be surprised.
Yeah, so an interesting play going for the Citadel Whale there, knowing that he won't get the maximum value out of it now. But does go for it nonetheless.
Yeah, indeed, there's a Crystal Impact there in the graveyard. On this side of Yosei. And now let me see the side as well. So there's indeed a Crystal Impact here. So we're looking at Frost's Grave. Just because I think it's letting some people to know about the cards in the graveyard. Can also do a second turn if people want to know more about the cards that are in the graveyard. Too far for bro. Ask for a culture. You've seen the graveyard now, Herbal. Be happy, you fool. No, but at least both players have like a solid graveyard just because of the Crystal Impact so far, and are still going to be able to do more synchro for sure. Not going to bring much.
They're just gonna activate C Stealth Attack just cuz. Not really gonna be doing anything because Umi isn't on the field. But just gonna be an attack from Frost right here. Going for the Dolphin first. And Sylphoneer does get summoned here.
Wise choice. Let's at least do 2 defense, then the Sylphoneer to special summon us a tuner or price yard. Alright.
Yeah,
I think he's getting less Crystals in his deck, so it pretty much explains maybe why he goes for price yard.
Yoselok's only hope of winning this at this point is to make Aquarion himself. That's in his extra deck as well as the Black Rose, which won't be seen here. He's gone through all of his other synchros.
Exactly. It's pretty much late to even go for Black Rose Dragon. Like, I think early game will have been actually a big hit for one of the 2 players. But right now, I don't think that's the play you want to go for.
He's just gonna probably a Sylphoneer? Yeah.
I think it's indeed a Sylphoneer, and I think he just wants to take his time and maybe use the effect of Price Hurdle the next turn. That's what maybe he's looking for.
Probably. Summon. This turn, yep.
To be able to maybe get more Christians in hand, which is going to fill up his hand as well. Now for sure, both players should not go for any deck out, and even if you want to go for a deck out against one of these 2 decks, it's really dangerous. So the best thing is if they're at least able to like have one synchro to protect themselves, I guess. Now in my opinion, Frost has the advantage when it comes to spell and trap for sure. He pretty much has the defense so far. So first of all, Tizer going to search for another Crystron, so one of the remaining is on his deck, and goes for Smiger. So I guess he's going to use the effect of Sylphoneer to yet again use the effect, the effect of Smiger from the graveyard to be able to add a trap. I think he's going to go for that.
He's going for Aquarion right now. Because he has to. with Whale is that Whale can negate a target of one card specifically, but Quarion targets multiple cards, so Whale will not actually be able to stop the Quarion here. And that is exactly what Yosei is doing. He's going for the Quarion, as expected. Gonna be banishing the Dolphin. Oh no! Timeout loss!
Oof, that hurts.
Oh no.
Timeout.
That was a timeout loss.
Oh, Frost takes the win here. Oh my.
Oh. That Quarion would have been so nice too. Would have been able to banish both the Whale, the Dolphin, and then something in the graveyard, and then he could have gone. Yeah, that's rough. Oh well. Well, chat, you were saying timeout win one time and you got one. Now Yosei will go into his other deck. It's gonna be another Crystron mirror, but this time both players are playing SSA.
Okay, no, that means they're... One of them is using the repeat, technically, right? Because he's like pretty much playing Crystron, just with a different deck list.
There's no repeat here because it's a different deck list.
Ah, okay, so repeat, it's only for like one specific deck list.
Yes.
Alright, yes. Okay. Just
you can only... And you can also only repeat if you go 0-1 with the deck you bring in. And Yosei already won a game. So
alright. Interesting. Alright. Sounds good.
Now you know.
Y'all, you have someone who's learning about the rules as well.
Or your C-Stealth attack can work from anywhere if Umi's on the field, so we'll probably see C-Stealth attack for sure from someone. It's a pseudo mirror hurdle, but yeah, I agree. The strategies are still slightly different, but Crystron on Crystron nonetheless. But this one for sure is a true mirror. SSA Crystron versus SSA Crystron. Starting with Undyne and opting to send the Sylphoneer for both. And Yosei actually going to send an Impact with the Sylphoneer, so that'll come in handy later on if there's some sort of target that occurs. Targets with Crystron, at least that I can recall, is Quarion. Still could come in handy though.
Indeed. Alright, they had a similar graveyard for sure. Just one of them has actually the impact.
Yeah.
So far, Yosei has the advantage technically because he has a protection.
Yes.
Alright, summons Rosenix.
So, yeah.
And I think he goes for Rosenix to like get rid of the, I'd say, useless Crystron, so Procerial and Rosenix, which are like rarely used, and it's like letting you do better plays for later, and also having them early in the graveyard. I'd say it's helpful as well.
So again, going for the Samurai Destroyer, probably realizing that could go into Quarion, but it wouldn't be significantly strong here. He just wants to get the Samurai Destroyer out here.
Exactly.
Samurai Destroyer definitely coming a lot more handy in this kind of mirror with SSA destroying everything if Citadel Whale's on the field.
He's going to be forced to do a synchro.
Just gonna get rid of the Sitri. Yosei doesn't bite with the Sitri effect.
Interesting that he
probably has another Yeah. Yosei gonna pop his own Umi here, but again realizing that back with a sea stealth attack, in addition to Frost having Umi himself.
So I believe he's going to use the Thyzer to maybe destroy the Prasirolo and then summon another Ryan.
Yep.
So indeed he's free to do the Aquarian Gandrix.
It looks like that's going to be the play here. It's going to make Quarion.
He's going for
it. He's going to get rid of Samurai Destroyer, which is a really good hit.
Yes.
Probably also going to get rid of...
Side 3 will have a response, so there will be one circular we can see, which I believe is going to be the Amatrix, to not let him do one attack.
Not gonna target the Sitri because he recognizes that Sitri is just gonna be able to use the effect anyway if he does target.
Great targets for sure as well. Going for the Samurai Destroyer for sure. Then going for Ryan, which is not going to have well, it's pretty much going to disrupt first for sure. And also the Self-Ifnir.
So just going for 3 targets he knew weren't going to be chained to in response to Sitri. Because we'll put that Quarion into defense. Samurai Destroyer will summon the Roseneck since it got removed from the field. But any card that's not Samurai Destroyer itself is usually not as strong, but we'll see if that extra monster will help Frost in the future.
Indeed. Well, it goes for destroying Aquarian Gundrax. So I believe with his effects he wants to actually get a Samurai Destroyer for himself. And with Samurai Destroyer, be able to actually destroy the Matrix. As well as I maybe think he's going to want to do the Inzektor.
Yeah, he's going to make Inzektor here.
Or is it Dolphin? I'm not sure he's playing Inzektor. I do believe he would be playing the White Aura Dolphin.
Yeah, he couldn't make Dolphin anyway because he used the Chris Jones effect.
Exactly.
But
so probably having these two in the extra deck.
Overall, a real solid turn for Yosei, banishing all of Frost's important cards and also getting back his Samurai Destroyer to nullify the Amatrix.
But Frost has 6 cards, so he's still able to do a lot of surprises for sure. This is not even the end. It's only the beginning. So right now he's back with that Self-Ifnir.
Yeah. The Self-Ifnir is going to special summon some sort of crystal. I don't know which one he'll bring in just now. Probably not Sitri in this moment because he doesn't really have level 3. Oh, he does summon Sitri though. Interesting. Now he could also use his own Umi to to summon another one, but I don't think he will in this case.
Or even
he still
prefer to destroy his own Crystron. Let's say if he summons a Smyger or a Theisvern, he could destroy his own to be able to special summon Side Tree. I don't think he's gonna want to be relying on destroying Umi, as he's mainly going to try to focus on being able to actually activate SSA.
Yeah, the Quarion was popped, and then after Yosei popped the Quarion, he summons the Samurai Destroyer that he banished.
Goes for the price hurdle. Special summons a Theisvern. So I guess we will be seeing an Amatrix. If he wants to, let's say, if he wanted to pop at least the Samurai Destroyer.
Yep. Just gonna pass on the Citri and the Theisvern.
He preferred to chill out. Try to see what kind of fill his opponent is going to be doing.
Kind of interesting. He no longer has his Samurai Destroyer. He could, I think he probably still has an Insectron which he can summon. But
on the
aside
side
from that,
of Frost, indeed he's able to do.
Yeah.
No,
He'll be able to
Side Tree, indeed, all he can do is use Rosenix to indeed do the Insectron. But it's not even going to help him, as you have the Samurai Destroyer, which negates the effects.
Samurai Destroyer will for sure bait out the Citri if he wants to use the Synchro to make an Insectron if he has it, which he likely does.
Right,
we did see that he had Dolphin as well, so... So, we'll see what he's playing instead, but... Oh, so he summons or tributes Sylphoneer for
another one.
Yeah.
Another important part is he just wanted to draw Sylphoneer to be able to at least not get it as a bricky hand. He went for the Sylphoneer because most of the Crystron players, I don't think we're gonna see them with 2 Sylphoneer only in the deck, but rather 3 copies. And you just want to get Sylphoneer in the early game. If you get it later for the late game, it's a break actually. Because let's say Sylphoneer, you can indeed use its effect on the hand or the graveyard, but you need to discard a different Crystron card other than Sylphoneer to be able to special summon and destroy one of the cards. So I think that's why he went to draw it and even do the tribute summon. I don't think he really had any need to do the tribute summon though, but it's a choice here.
Yeah. Just gonna attack the Theisvern. Not really too worried about whatever he searches. Really blame him with the field he has. He also does have the impact in the graveyard, remember that. So if he does have a way to make a Quarion line, he will be able to negate.
Is such a disadvantage because here, well, he actually has the impact, but both players have it actually. Just one had it earlier in the game, and then he had it later on. So he summons the Genix.
Gonna go into Dolphin right here.
Indeed. Dolphin, then reduce the attack of...
Yeah, Dolphin's kind of an X factor in this mirror. You don't see it often, but it will actually come in handy for this.
Exactly. Because at some point what happens while playing Crystron is you're just going to stay in attack rather than defense. At some point because of the stats of the cards as well. Though I don't think he's going to care because it was the opponent's Samurai Destroyer, and I think he also wanted to get rid of one spot intentionally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Yosei not sweating the attack over Samurai Destroyer because he still has his own.
Exactly.
both Amatrix still in his extra deck, so he still has a lot of options.
Plus the other thing is, Frost only has 2 extra deck cards remaining still.
He is going to attack into the Zektron, likely going to see a Lance.
Exactly, or a Clash even.
Oh, he see a Lance from Frost, actually.
Right, goes for that.
Yeah, I was thinking the other way around. I thought Yosei was the one that was going to Lance there, but instead Frost does. Maybe Yosei just recognizing... Yosei probably recognizing that he can just make more space for his synchro plays. He just wanted to get rid of the Inzektron. But now looking like... Yeah, like... a couple turns ago, it looked like Yosei was leading, but now it's not as decisive. And with the White Aura Dolphin, it might actually be Frost now that's in the lead.
Exactly. Gets his destroyed.
Yosei does have a lot of synchro plays, so he's definitely not out of it yet. He has a lot of options. Matrix here, yep.
Exactly, Matrix. No, actually Frost is still gonna have a long advantage because of the White Aura Dolphin, as it can special summon itself as many times as it wants by the number of water monster there is.
Yeah. So there's no solid way to get rid of the Dolphin now, since Yosei already did make his Quarion. What Yosei is able to do here. If he's able to get Citadel Whale, then he won't have to worry about the Dolphin as much, but as of now, doesn't really have a solid way to deal with it. Samurai Destroyer, though.
Alright,
oh yeah, the Samurai Destroyer. Yeah, because he can negate the
Samurai
Dolphin.
Destroyer on the Aura Dolphin is what's
Forgot
going to
that
help him, and sets a monster.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dolphin in so long, I forgot that it was by Battle card. Yeah, no, so that's gonna be a Dolphin takeout. So now Yosei looking like
at least he got rid of one of the worst monsters so far when it comes to mirror match, because White Aura Dolphin can actually be really terrifying just because of reducing by half the attack of an opponent and getting the best effect, which is special summoning itself as many times as he wants, depending on the number of water monsters in the graveyard. And Crystron, which is pretty much a deck full of water, it's a pretty terrifying card from the extra deck to play.
Yeah.
So Yosei is still pretty nice looking so far.
Yeah. Is gonna pop the Sylphoneer. I'm gonna summon a monster.
He buffs
with
it, does not use the effect, and instead sets a monster.
Yeah,
and it's going to go for the attack, destroy. Acute Prismatic Scrap Recycler.
Possibly running low on time, maybe, but I don't know. That play was kind of odd. Maybe just to get the discard outlet, but even then,
I think it's to pretty much be able to get rid of more cards at least. By the way, both players are having the same amount of...
Yosei just gonna get rid of that Sylphoneer, knowing that it won't be able to float.
Alright, no, that's interesting though. He played his deck with that card. That must
Still
have
haven't
been a
seen
brick, come to think.
Yeah, still haven't seen a whale from either player yet.
Indeed. Neither played the whale so far. We've only seen the dolphin.
The attack does come out here. Thank you, back.
Oi, 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 oi. The first one to get the sea stealth attack.
That was a huge.
No, I think Frost is not really going to be coming back. He normally does not have anything good when it comes to monster set.
Yeah, that was a really
That was
nice
the card that gave him the comeback for sure.
Yeah. Both are set, so yeah, this is looking bleak for. Yeah.
Alright, no, this is
really going to win this mirror now. The sea stealth attack is out.
Frost is
2
still.
cards.
Oh, sorry. Keep going on.
Yeah, I was just saying he has 2 cards. He does have a this turn search if he is able to search something, but now definitely looking like Yosei is in the lead.
The thing is, it also depends on the cards that Frost draw. Now, I think he would like to get his favorite monster, the whale, but he will also need the help of like. No, wait. I believe if he summons the whale, he's able to set directly from the deck as sea stealth attack, anyways.
Yosei just going for lethal. There's
Goes
probably
for the lethal.
So sea stealth attack.
Sea stealth attack, right?
Yeah. But
I think this is the end, indeed.
that is going to be it. Yosei does take the SSA mirror.
What a game here.
And no whale was summoned that game.
Indeed, no whale here.
Yeah, no whale.
That will have been actually terrifying if his opponent got it. So like if Frost got the card, I think it would have been pretty much terrifying.
Now God's Chosen will have to decide what to bring in next. If they're doing that, I will be right back.
No problem. Also going to put it in there. No, oops. My bad. This. Now God's Chosen is going to choose the next player for the next match. Weird how he drew SSA and immediately won. Yeah, I think non-players pretty much wanted to set SSA or drew SSA, which is actually surprising. They got that card really late. He will win less game 2 if no time limit, unlucky. Crystron is really hard when it comes to time limit. I think way worse than any kind of deck. Like, it's really punishing to play Crystron. So at some point you really need to think wisely for any kind of play you're going to be seeing. Nerf Crystron, please. Help Crystron, please. Like, someone saying nerf it when I got into KC Cup, DNV 17, 40 hours playing this shitty deck and struggling in this fucking DNV to try to beat DNV 18. I think no. I disagree to this statement. Nah. I mean, at some point it is really strong indeed because of the staples you can actually put for the deck. Like, let's say Lance is, I think, one of the best staples you can play among Crystron to protect them from like spells and traps and all that stuff. But I still think it is. I mean, I don't see where you want it to be nerfed. I'll be surprised if there's any nerf, because like the fact that you have a deck that actually can go in time limit, not sure there's going to be any semi limitation to one of the cards, or so I think.
The only other deck that really came close to.
Also, welcome to everybody coming to the stream as well.
Yeah, the only other deck that came close to the time limit issues was Ritual Beast when they were at their peak.
Indeed. Now for Ritual Beast, even I actually finished a certain build for Ritual Beast, at least be able to understand some of the plays and how you play Ritual Beast, and they still can get some time limit depending of the board from your opponent and how you actually have to get rid of his cards.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because Ritual Beast, like, I'd say they're a bit more linear than, like, in comparison to Crystron, but the thing was, like, in order to get your maximum value out of your combos, they were just really time consuming.
Indeed.
So that was the main problem with them. See what happens to Crystron. I think there does need to be some sort of hit that occurs to them if No Morals Can Resist gets hit in the future, which it likely will, because that ability is quite degenerate against certain matchups, but yeah, we'll see.
Alright, it's going to be the turn of Dragon this time. I'm gonna try to update. When they launch the match, I'm gonna have to launch it and update it when I can.
My favorite meme I saw for that was like the one where it's like, oh, call an ambulance, but not for me. And it was just a picture of like the guy who like used the Cosmic as like some sort of deck that's playing No Morals Can Resist against Crystons, and then but not for me.
Wait, it glitched. Thank you, Konami, for always making the spectate button glitch, by the way. I appreciate it so damn much. Okay, wait a second. Because I know I've done something wrong. Exactly. Chook and Chook. Alright, Dragon has the 2 decks. Anyways. Dragon at the top. USA Lock. Down. Yet again. Okay, this time we are gonna have maybe a quicker match. This time it's not going to be Mirror Crystron.
This time it's probably going to be No Morals Can Resist Shiranui with Cosmics. But,
right,
you know, maybe it's a
build. Drinking water and trying to do the sound effects of the Umi, by the way. Alright. Typical board here. Very, very good board though to have at least a side tree, then another monster on the field, and 1 card face down.
Alright, will we see a Cosmic into No Mortals here?
We'll see.
That's the question. Yeah, Herald of the Abyss, actually.
I mean, he has a response. Doesn't he have a response? Yes, he has. Exactly not.
Gonna make the Samurai Destroyer. A good play by Yosei Locke, recognizing that he couldn't make Amatrix there, otherwise Herald of the Abyss could have just gotten rid of that. So is gonna go for the Samurai Destroyer to dodge the Herald of the Abyss. But No Mortals will be able to get rid of the Dice Fern, so no search for Yosei, but he does have a Samurai Destroyer. There's the Shiranui.
Alright, you were actually hitting right when it comes to the deck. So now the Squire searching for the Spectral Word.
Summoning from hand though, so it means he has a second one in his hand. Or he misclicked, but likely a second in his hand. Actually, so obviously not ideal there, but yeah, looks like he has a second in his hand.
Exactly, by the looks of it. He has a card. There's the World Legacy Clash.
Oh, Legacy Clash. And Yosei might actually be able to OTK him right now. Well, I mean, not OTK, but like finish him off.
Yes, he can technically, because if he gets destroyed by a card effect, I believe he's able to special summon itself. It all depends on the card that is face down.
He might try and pop the Umi here.
I mean,
he might send and pop the Umi.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I think he's already going to try to go for the Amatrix. He knows that the card that is face down is like going to destroy one of the 2 cards for sure. So having, let's say, a Samurai Destroyer, then
yeah, I mean, there's no reason to pop the Umi when he can make another Synchro anyway.
Yep.
It just would have been kind of stylish, nonetheless. But he wanted to make sure that the back row wasn't something like fiendish.
Exactly. So now, rather than being foolish, he goes for the side tree to try to bait the opponent on using his card. But he's able to do the Synchro. Now that is almost a win, but of course it depends on the back row of his opponent.
He's not going to use the effect to send it to defense, obviously, because he does have a case to push.
And it's going to be a fiendish chain out of anything.
So good play on Yosei for recognizing that the back would have stopped it and decided to go for the Synchro.
I think he's not even going to go for the lethal right now. He's just going to stop and go for the edifice. If he destroys the level 7, I mean the level 6, so if he destroys Samurai Saga, we're going to see the Shogun Saga with a lot of attack, destroying the Samurai Destroyer, and there's almost no way for Yosei to come back, but he goes for the attack?
Goes for the attack, yeah.
Okay. Could be because of if there's another Herald of the Abyss. That's what he thinks, but...
Well, he recognizes that he doesn't have lethal. Even though, like, yes, he can boost really high and draw one with Squire. I think he just realized just to go for damage there, and now he can't use like, Cosmic to get rid of a possible
Probably
for a
because of that, and also because I believe Ishizu will have been able to use again her skill of No Mortal Can Resist, because both of the players had 1,500 life points of difference. So he was like, you know what, F it, I'm going to attack, reduce the life points. So at least indeed he's able to block the life points of his opponent. But as I said, the issue is going to be his graveyard. There's a Squire, then you have a Spectral Sword, and a Samurai Saga.
So you can make level 8 Banish Squire, draw 1, and that could help him.
Exactly, drawing 1, then discard. There's going to be that part indeed. And this is really going to help him. So he goes for Spectral Sword, I believe Shogun Saga, right? That's the best thing he can do. Shogun Saga by banishing then the Samurai Saga.
He might be making Revive King Hades here. That could also help him. That's what he's going to go for. Revive King Hades, when it destroys a monster by battle, will negate the effect. So probably just going to attack the Amatrix here. Even though Amatrix can't even summon anything right now, but he can attack over both. He might just attack Samurai Destroyer. Is going to reduce the probably the Samurai Destroyer.
I don't think he's going to bother on Samurai Destroyer as it is targeted by Fiendish Chain, as you can see here.
That's true, yeah, he might just get rid of the Amatrix.
So rather than that, he's going to like, reduce the attack of the Amatrix for the memes, and to negate your effects as well. Now he's going to go for Solitaire to then special summon the Tuner.
Okay, yeah,
and
I see.
This is the real bait, and I think he did a better play than what I thought, because I believe he's just needing... No, wait. I think I was thinking too far.
He doesn't have enough money.
I was thinking too far, for example, if he, for example, do a Shogun Saga, I believe he only can banish a Shiranui. So not anything or any Zombie Synchro, for example.
That was... I don't know if that... Yeah, that probably wasn't the ideal play there.
He has to go in defense here.
Yeah, definitely agrees with it.
And sadly, he cannot change the defense for... No, he can. Okay. That's me not knowing of a Fiendish Chain. F in the chat, I guess, for me. Not knowing that Fiendish Chain can let the opponent change the position of a monster. I thought he cannot, which is very stupid out of me.
Yeah, there are a lot more lines that could have been better, but nonetheless, still.
Pfizer.
Ooh, yeah, that probably is game. Actually,
it's really going to be game.
Oh wait, no, my bad. Hades hated Dice Turn, of course. Yeah.
The Reviving King Hades, indeed.
I forgot about that. Yeah, no, that's probably gonna... Yeah, unless the set is, in fact, an impact, that'd be the only way he'd come back here. But even then, still gonna be tough.
Another No Mortal Can Resist.
That's gonna be it.
And that is going to be game. You say, out of here.
So, interesting play there. He does take it.
Indeed, I actually thought we were going to see some Shogun Saga, but not even close. Reviving King Hades did a way better job for sure. So, Chuk.
Yeah, he did have a way to, because he did have Solitaire, there was a way for him to make level 10, but nonetheless, he did take the game, and likely going to be seeing Sabers from Phoenix now, but we will see.
Seems like no Koiki needed. I mean, Koiki is useless right now. Dark World is going to become meta. I hope so. I mean, obviously not, but... Gotta say, I'm really glad for the event when they brought at least some Dark World. Was every time thinking of the BNP team because every time we were actually talking about the Dark World. And it's actually going to be Casey Full. Alright, so we're gonna launch the match and I'll update the names and we're ready to go, guys.
Shizu comes in here, so likely gonna be Dark Magician then.
Oops. Casey Flul. Alright, I wrote Casey Flul.
Okay.
Seriously, that's a funny name. I mean, not Casey Flul, but like Casey Flul, like there was an L. I don't know. So just one thing. Just a mistake. So I'll just do one thing as well, so people do not get confused. So the one who's on the bottom is actually Dragoon, alright? And the one who's on top is actually Casey Fall, so we're changing the places in this one.
Casey Full goes for the Dark Magic Curtain, summoning
Already?
the Dark Magician. So yeah, this is going to be Dark Magician from Phoenix.
No, I mean, like, I thought he's like...
yeah, it was going to be either that or Sabers.
I think he doesn't even have a good hand to like already use the curtain if that is the case, because otherwise we will have seen the typical magician rod or even a circle. Oh, okay, it's just going to be a tutor. And a cyclone.
Not a huge deal for Casey Full as of this moment because he still can use the No Mortal Can Resist, but if Dragoon has another Cosmic into Solitaire, this could be trouble.
Exactly. None of them are going to be actually able to use the skill. Sets one card.
Looks like he has OTK, so he's just gonna set. And unfortunate for Dragon for not having
another navigation.
Stronger. He is going to use
Almost
No Mortal.
30k by the way. Almost 30k, but it depends on the card face down. It can actually be a winged Kuribo! I mean, I don't think we're going to ever see this kind of card.
Shiranui does sometimes play Sphere Kuribo, so it's not...
I mean, Sphere Kuribo, yes, but I said winged Kuribo, winged Kuribo, so the ESR one that you get from Jada. You know, the one that you sense down, and you receive no damage until the end of the turn. I was actually talking about this card.
Yeah.
That was just for a joke, but indeed for Shiranui you see some Kuribo Sphere.
The birds say, wing Kuribo, that's more worthless than a regular Kuribo.
And rather than that, it's going to be a win for Casey Full.
So no Sphere in hand. Casey Full's going to take an easy win there.
Getting rid of a Shiranui is going to be good for the team, though.
Next just has a ton of momentum right now.
So because it changed the thing, it's going to be like that.
So we'll see
Come on,
what,
guys! Casey Full Dragoon, stop changing positions. That's too funny, guys. They want to change the positions again, trying to take the left positions. They want to be on the, like, the bottom just because they want to show themselves. What the heck is that, mate? Oh, chunky hack, mate. Anyways, just going to do it like that. I don't mind. I'm just having fun here. And then, because it's going to be the top, it's going to be like that. They're ready for the second game. Let's go. So while I'm going to launch as well, we'll update the scores. Never forgetting it. So here, first win for Casey Full, first defeat for Dragoon. Like this. So far, Phoenix still got the lead for a long time. Like no issue at all as well.
So I guess we're just going to start with the circle. Ideally has the rod here. Yep. Okay, so Casey Full will be able to start with a reasonably ideal opening hand, but he is going against Thunder Dragon, so we will see We'll see how he fares today.
It really depends on the timing and the monsters that his opponent is going to be summoning, but I think banishing Raiden is generally the choice you can go for. Sorry.
Yeah. Ideally for him, he'd want to, banish the Raiden A and then summon Kaiku B to prevent any sort of summons with the either the house monsters really. Names don't come to mind.
I think at the end phase, if he has the good hand, we're going to see the Dragon Dark being discarded to then add another Thunder Dragon. I think it's not going to happen so far. Alright, no Dragon Dark in his hand so far.
He's gonna go for the Gold Sark. That'll help him add a card. Probably gonna banish
he's gonna send Dragon Roar. He's gonna banish Dragon Roar to activate its effects.
Yeah, most likely.
Dragon
Dragon Hawk, interesting. Going for the reload.
Alright.
Not going for the Dragon Roar to special summon.
Yeah, maybe he got a really bad hand, so that's actually a nice alternative for a reload indeed.
For the second
Gold Sarcophagus,
he's probably gonna go for Dragon Roar.
Indeed, yeah. We're gonna see Dragon Roar.
Yeah. There it is. So Dragon Roar is gonna use the effect now.
Yeah, boy, Dragon Roar is going to make us get scared. Oh my goodness. Anyways, the Dragon Dark being summoned.
Probably gonna use the nav to banish the flag.
I think he wants to bait the navigation, and he's gonna have to banish the Flag Sprinter zombie. So this one. That's a nice bait, because I think his opponent is going to be able to special summon.
Could have potentially gone into a second Dark Magician, but Casey Fool taking no chances in case the charge of the Light Brigade is in hand for some reason.
Indeed.
And that's, unless Spear in hand, that's already going to be game.
I mean, since Thunder Dragons can still play, I don't think there's so much Kytroids, but probably Creepy Spheres. We're probably going to see some, unless he had a break. Because otherwise I think he will have gave up already, because it's not worth waiting for one turn if he knows his opponent is just...
Yeah, definitely. He's not scooping it up just yet, so he likely does have some sort of either a Sphere, maybe even an Artifact Vajra, but we will see.
Exactly. Or otherwise I think he really has no hand trap and only has a Dragon Dark. But I still believe he has a Creepy Sphere. Otherwise, I think it can be also game for Casey Fool.
There is a delay, so there is Sphere in hand.
Yeah, but I was actually thinking of the... You know, there's a quick spell for the spellcasters, which, depending on the number of Dark Magicians, you can actually make them increase attack. And if he had it, for example, he will have one. But no, nothing. So yeah, the delay was only because of Dragon Dark.
Huh. Alright.
Free win and cannot say much, buddies. Goodbye, Dragon. Goodbye,
the Gold Sark into Dragon Roar was real interesting. He did get another Gold Sark off of it, but yeah, no, he just didn't really have any other play.
Like, the thing about Thunder Dragon is I think you really need hand traps at some point, or you need to do the perfect ODK. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much dead as a sort of archetype, may I say. Like, I'm not saying it is trash at all. I'm just saying that as an archetype, you're pretty much based on OTKs, and it's really good for the OTK because it's pretty brainy when it comes to build that OTK while trying to like see how you're going to destroy the field of your opponent by using Legionnaires, or like if you're going to special summon the Legionnaire and all. So Kill Bias is actually going to replace him. Gonna begin the game, change the nicknames of both players as well.
Another Thunder Dragon is gonna come out. This time we are seeing a number that we are more familiar with, 25 cards instead of 30.
Familiar? I mean, 30 for me is even more familiar when it comes to Thunder Dragon, and for me, let's say 25 sometimes can be less pay to win-ish, I'd say, but also less brick as well.
More people prefer to play, I mean, there can be cases for both, but more people tend to play, or people prefer to play less cards, yeah, just to have less bricks. We kind of saw that in the last game. Yeah. But Casey Full is gonna start, and
yeah,
possibly open the name again. Oh, he gets a second magic circle.
But maybe he has the correct hand. We never know. There's a lot of surprises.
Yep. Still possible for him to have the nav set, but we will see.
Alright, this is typical, discarding Dragon Dark to add another Dragon Dark, mainly for the meme, because they love to have a quick effect to then discard again. Otherwise, the real use to add another Dragon Dark by the effect of himself is generally to have different Thunder Dragons in your hand. If you want to banish, if you want to simply send them to the graveyard. So charge of the Light Brigade. Right.
So there's already a possible Leveneer play that can be made right now. He goes right. He goes for the Gold Sark first. Yeah, no reason to rush it if he has Gold Sark. And bait out. He might try and bait out the nav here, but he does have to be careful because if he gets Kaiku out, then he won't have the opportunity to go for
exactly
Leveneer or the other guy.
I think the issue is mainly going to turn around, like trying to banish someone. I think he's gonna wait for Raiden. I think it's still going to be his best bet to banish. Because let's say if you try to...
Oh, he doesn't have it.
So he maybe has the Magician Dark Illusion. So he's still able to banish. He's still able to banish, so it's still pretty nice. Also going to put himself in defense for sure.
So he will be able to banish the Raiden, however...
exactly. Well, that is still very good for him.
It's still going to be tough, yeah.
Because if we see the graveyard... Well, sadly, we're going to see the Levianeer, technically. A Levianeer can happen.
Yeah, Levianeer would be good. Dragon Duo as well, though, would be really strong as well. We will see.
Exactly. One
is going to go for the Dragon Duo.
Exactly.
Then we'll get a Search of Dragon Dart. This is banished. I'm likely going to use the effect now to summon the Dragon Dragon Roar. Dragonhawk to search Dragonhawk. And doesn't really care too much about his graveyard now since he just has one Dragonhawk in it.
Exactly.
So no mortal can resist, even though we'll get rid of that. It's not going to be a huge deal.
He'll have to be forced to hope to be able to summon some Dark Magicians to then banish a Dragon Duo at least. Alright, Magician's Rod.
So finally we will get to see a search for the navigation.
Exactly. A nice no mortal can resist at least.
Probably gonna wait for a specific moment to use navigation to both banish Dragon Duo, but also to get Kaiku out to prevent any summons like Dragon Duo or Levineer in the future.
Indeed.
But as of now, he has no reason to use that draw phase.
Alright, now I think he has to do nothing and sort of receive the attack and wait to the battle phase. That Raiden is used as a bait. That's for sure, because he's trying to incite Casey to use the navigation, especially summon 2 Dark Magician, banish Raiden, just to not like send some cards to the graveyard. But it's pretty worthless when you see that he has actually 4 cards. And here talking about Tobias having the 4 cards in hand.
He's gonna send a Sark and a Levineer, so not an ideal mill. Go into the level 12.
Alright, so we're gonna see Onimaru, I believe.
Yeah, Onimaru isn't really the strongest against this deck, but
it's
Dragon
still
Roar
a
is going to be able
scary
to.
Card for sure.
Yeah. It's a scary card, yes, and the main thing, or the main reason that you went for it there is just now the fact that navigation won't be able to fully counter the Thunder Dragon player here. Now he has 2 monsters that are over 25.
I mean, I think he's really going to go for the Onimaru, logically. I mean, maybe he will also go for Dragon Duo if he wants to, but...
So he's not going to go for Kaiku just yet.
And that's a good choice, because otherwise that's a pretty much wasted Kaiku.
Yeah, he's just going to tribute off the Rod, yeah.
Good tribute here to not receive that much of damage. And by the way, he really went for the banishing of Dragon Duo. Not a bad choice at all.
I'm gonna guess that Kaiku is probably in hand there, though, because,
I mean, indeed. But, like, Kaiku does not have so much defense as well as attack, so... I think it's better to, like, draw it later on in the match. Plus, the big issue also, come to think, is Onimaru being Dark type. This card needs to also be banished to not let your opponent... So, like, to not let Kilvias do a Levianeer, or even another Dragon Duo. But well, there's at least nobody can resist.
He didn't have Levianeer, so it was okay in that case.
I think one of the Levianeers was in the graveyard as well, so now it has been transformed into nothing. Dark Magician Navigation.
Yeah. Now he's gonna... Yeah, Kaiku.
Maybe Kaiku, I believe.
If he doesn't have it in deck, he can still summon it from hand, though, so that's the thing.
That's the thing, indeed. Wait. No, I mean, Dark Magician is the only card that you can special summon by hand. And then you special summon any spellcaster from your deck. This is the effect of navigation.
Yeah, very well played by there.
Curtain. Okay, no, I think maybe because of his deck. And also, sorry for cutting you. I just wanted to say that maybe he's not playing the quick spell card that increases the attack.
Expanded? Yeah, probably not.
Exactly, Expanded. Thank you for remembering me the name. That's the one I've been searching, actually. He has to attack with the Rod. And then he has to do the Kaiku to banish the 2 Dragon Roar. No, that was a free banishing of the 2 Dragon Roars. He's somehow not able to.
Casey Full called Kilvias' bluff of not having Levianeer in hand and decided to preserve it for this.
I mean, he could have went to maybe... So I'm trying to understand why he did not want to banish the 2 Dragon Roars, because like normally one of them, let's say, has been destroyed by battle, so its effect is activated to special summon another one. So maybe, like, if he banished them, there will be no effect activated, because it's 1 effect per turn for this card. So I'm trying to see why he has done it, because that's like 2 dark monsters in the graveyard. He must have had dark in hand.
Wolf is going to be summoned here. Ache does come into play here. Was he going to take... okay. I thought he was going to take Kaiku there for a second. But yeah, navigation is going to negate it, obviously.
Yeah.
Not really too much.
But,
that's going to be it.
that is going to be 1 win for Casey Fall. So far, Phoenix dominating.
Yeah.
Literally no
capping. That looked bleak for a moment, but Casey Full making the right play, calling Kilvius's bluff of not having the second Leveneer in hand after milling one. And he's able to bring it back.
Exactly. No, I'm not going to lie, this is something I could not even call this.
What I meant, Olivero, was the turn before when he used navigation to summon Dark Magician and Rods, as opposed to Magician and Kaiku.
And now come to think, this is almost the Lost for Gods chosen, so they really have to think well if they want to use the reload to like replay the same deck or just change to another one.
Likely gonna see a repeat here, the first one of this war.
Probably. Exactly.
It is gonna be a repeat.
It's possible. Wait, stop it. Oh, okay.
So
I don't know why I used the repeat one, I just wanted to hide the... Alright. So it does look like it's the same deck list.
Casey Full again going
a
first.
So they used the repeat, God's chosen.
Casey Full going first with Rod again, so we'll see if he opens Ideal again.
Alright, goes for the Magical Circle.
Alright, he does have the nabs. So the question is, does he have a Dark Magician in his hands?
So yet again, he gets the hand he wants.
Is gonna set 2 here. And Dragon Dark is gonna discard. Search for another one. Dragon Hawk gets sent here. Got Dragon Clear.
I do wonder if he's looking to do the Tribute Summon on the Dragon Dark.
Possibility for sure. We'll likely see a navigation if he summons a tuner here. Navigation is in fact live.
Enemy controller.
Actually.
Right. Maybe doing it just for the sake of maybe summoning a Dragon Duo.
Yep.
And Illusion Magic here to ruin your day.
Okay, so now navigation is gonna be live. If it wasn't before, it definitely is now.
Exactly.
And he might actually toggle on and use it now to prevent the Dragon Duel from being summoned. To also recognize that he hasn't normaled yet, so no reason to do it just yet.
Indeed.
But he could. Of course, he could also like wait for Dragon Duo to be summoned and then banish it with Nav, which would probably be a smarter play.
This is gonna look mainly... If I check the graveyard, yeah, just one spell, then 2 monsters.
So he can summon the Dragon Girl.
He can summon it, then Caseyful just has like to wait for the battle phase most of the time. But also depends if there's any other card that is sent to the grave. I think he's just going to try to banish another card before. He has to do it before Levianeer still, no matter what.
Caseyful isn't too worried right now. He's just going to allow the dragon to be summoned.
I don't think he has to be worried at all. The thing is, the Thunder Dragon is generally playing around I spell summon big monsters and try to like protect myself with hand traps. They really do not rely so much in the back row, which is the real weakness of the deck. And it's the battle phase. Looks like the end.
Battle phase navigation is going to be used, and likely going to see the Kaiku now. The Dark Magician.
Summons them in attack as well. And I think he's going to put something in defense as well. Does he?
Doesn't even have to go Kaiku right now even. He could just go for double Dark Magician, but
yeah,
we'll see what he decides to do. He is going to summon Illusion, he's going to summon the Illusion, recognizing that there isn't really a graveyard that he has to worry about right now.
But he can still indeed be worried about the others. A second Ekon. A second enemy controller is what I wanted to say. Gets banished.
Like, yeah, he can't want to have done much in that situation though, because he put the Illusion to defense.
So technically this is not a lethal if Kelvius has a hand trap. Okay. He sets one card, alright.
Could have Sphere.
That's the thing.
This will be huge if Dark Magician...
I believe he also has a Dragon Dark still in hand. He has one in hand for sure.
First attack go through. And that's going to be it.
Indeed.
So Phoenix getting rid of the curse they had last week, losing to 3 hard counters, and now this time around they beat 3 hard counters.
Exactly. They pretty much also the 10 looking a bit weird. Okay, let me try to play with the cursor because that was a weird 10 looking, but anyways.
Yeah. So a huge win for Phoenix today.
Yeah. Big win for sure. They really got the good hands for sure. Some tie duels still though, if we try to remember the mirror Crystron matches that we've seen for sure. And alright, I think that's the end of the stream. Can't say much here. That was a pretty entertaining war for sure. Really enjoyed to see this deck's being played most of the times, even the Crystron's. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to my boys Godfather and Medzer, because they apparently wanted a shout out. Or also Metal Overdrive, yeah. Metal Overdrive for going 4-2 as lead. That was huge to go first, but yeah. Definitely going more than 2-2 as a lead is amazing.
Exactly.
So we'll see if there's see if anyone wants to do an interview, but aside,
yeah, I guess.
Let's go on. Yeah, let's see. Hold up.
Someone spank Casey for playing DM, please. Interview Mets. Alright, interviewing a player who hasn't played yet, but... Also, fun fact, I believe Meds is a French society, like a French company. I don't remember if it is, but I think it is, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe, but Medzer is not French. He is, in fact, British.
Alright, yeah, I must imagine this, of course. I think I'm gonna end this stream like that. I thought of maybe doing a host, or maybe if there are like people who wants me to help some streamer, if they have someone in mind, I thought of doing something like that. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to end it like that. I don't mind anything. The most important part was to cast the Team Wars. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the stream. So I was the streamer and as well the caster, and as well Tnobes.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yosiluk might actually be coming in for an interview, but I'm not sure. We will see. If no one comes in like the next minute, we could obviously end the stream early.
No problem.
Yeah. See.
Thanks you too for being here, Zarix, and no problem. Alright, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Like that. See you next time, everyone.
See you guys.